Hey guys, Bolt here. So we're gonna make this quick because I do want to get this done and out. So right before we do have chapters for this one. Um, oh, gonna let you know now. I've started to home make. This is a homemade Baja Blast. I had some tea last night from here, but I did blue Gatorade, blue Powerade, Sprite, and Mountain Dew, and there you go. Anyways, the chapters will go the good. This will go over the good points of the game. The bad, which is basically just like little critiques, and then the ugly, which are big critiques, excluding characters. And then we do get into the multiverse because this is supposed to be the extension of this game. Um, and any other characters that we may want to see in the future and how they can get into this universe. We go into the League. This is only Wonder Woman, Superman, The Flash, and John Stewart's Green Lantern. Green Lantern. Green Lantern. It's not green anymore, it's Glean. Um, then we go into a pretty big section, which is Arkham Batman, and it's like history that we're leaving on, which I'm gonna let you know now. Horrible. Um, and then the very end, which is the world building that they were trying to do, because bat the quad the trilogy slash prequel of the Batman Arkham verse was very self-contained with small little snippets of outside the Gotham, but this was a pretty big slap in the face with this universe's extended universe. So anyway, let's get into this because I do have to get at least two more videos done before I have to leave. So the good is basically I particularly don't care for it, but it is a good third-person shooter. So the game style is good. They fixed a few of the issues I had problems with in the alpha and beta. They give you options to kind of clear some things that you don't like there's the score, like the damage numbers that kind of like mess with your like where you're supposed to be looking. You can take those off. So above all, they've were able to critique it a little bit better, and of course the graphics are going to be amazing because this is new gen stuff. Um, so graphics, gameplay, and overall just the world, like the open world kind of concept, is pretty decent. Then we get into the bad. The bad is like for the simple stuff. It's more you don't get anyone in the Justice League or any of the actual big heroes except for the big names. So this is a very big cash grab. Gonna let you know, like every single thing these people make anymore. So it's a cash grab, and then it's also just like another small little snippet of I don't like is kind of like there is like some buildings in some areas you need to do certain things to do, and it does have some unlockability in sections, um, which kind of does push you in the right direction, which is a good point, but yet it's kind of like for the people who just kind of want to explore, it kind of stops you. The next big thing is the ugly. Um, I think introducing so much is the worst part of it. So just having the Bat family and maybe some other small heroes and villains from outside the Gotham come in, just introduce small little snippets of the outside world of Gotham. But then all of a sudden in this game we have a bunch of superheroes that just existed alongside Arkham Batman. We have a bunch of supervillains. We have a whole new city and other cities we're supposed to be exploring through the DLCs. And you're just supposed to accept it, and it's kind of like it's a history dump. Like, just like, so here's just this perfect plateaued explained story of Arkham Batman. And here's just a giant pile of stuff we found around the neighborhood. Here you go. And I think that kind of makes it very like, wait, what am I supposed to be looking at? What am I supposed to be taking in? Like, you can't even make connections about how these things are supposed to exist. The history behind this stuff, which we get into the multiverse, which, yes, I understand with everyone dying, like, just spoilers. Basically, I think Jon Stewart said they were doing that. They were controlled for weeks. So Batman, Superman, and Green Lantern were just destroying a lot of the world for weeks, while our convicts were kind of the last option for the world. So they explained that they went for metas. They found and killed every meta that they can find on the planet. So possibly Green Lantern, Superman, and Batman were the only ones that were in this city because of they tracked down Wonder Woman and the Flash to that point probably. So they wanted to kind of target these two people that they know are going to be too powerful for others. And the other metas that he's probably controlling are in other cities. Which that's another idea that they better do in these DLCs. I think we get 2 episodes per DLC pack with the Battle Pass, which I do not have a problem with the Battle Pass. You know, it's cosmetics and all that are okay, and as long as it's a decent price, it's fine. But for every time you introduce a villain to be playable, like the Joker, you need at least another 1 or 2 heroes to go up against. Like, for this next one, if we have a Batman villain, you need to introduce more Bat family members. I better see a Nightwing and a Red Hood going against you. You know, a more acrobatic, all over the place kind of person versus someone who is very tactical and kind of has the same amount of gunpowder power that the other 4 characters you can play as at this point. That'd be amazing, but the big problem is introducing the multiverse into this kind of story where you went from one little city to this entire world / universe exists, and now you're expanding it to even a multiverse. So you're literally saying the go big or go home, where no one's gonna want to go hard and then just want to go home because they can't understand what you're trying to the story here. So basically, it's just like, okay, so Batman has this huge lifelong superhero life, and then he gets found out, so he's got to, do Code Black, and then we deal with, him becoming Bruce, and it sounds like he doesn't even stay in the shadows for long, like he was wanting to by the end of Arkham Knight. And then you just introduce all these heroes, and you don't even explain their stories, and yet you're trying to explain another whole multiverse of stories. So it's just too big. Going on to the League, I'd say the League was made pretty well, I would say. Elson, you don't get to understand their backstory, the origins, their history, because there's probably years of history like there is the Arkham Batman. It's just who they are, their personality, and how they look are probably the best parts of the League. The best part we see them is just how they act, but the biggest thing is the Hall of Justice. We get to see the little tapes that they tell citizens about, how the Flash can do this, and this, and he does it. He doesn't do this stuff because he's not a villain, but he's willing to save everyone he can, and he's the brightest of the entire. Well, not the brightest minded, but more of he's probably one of the best at heart. And then there's Wonder Woman, who's just like, well, I'm an Amazon who didn't care for men, but thanks to this, well, I don't think they mentioned Steve Trevor. I I haven't been able to see anything on that, but she was introduced and she wanted to protect the world of like she met people that other cared about these world, so she decided to drop her like her small ideology of the world and kind of protect everything. And then there's Superman, who's just like, um, it's not just about me; it's about everyone who's willing to protect it, even the people that are even just citizens. You know, as long as you're willing to stand up and fight, you are a hero. Basically, he's supposed to be the hope. Um, so the Flash is the heart, Superman's the hope, Wonder Woman's kind of like your um, the warrior in all of us to kind of stand up and hold your ground, while Superman's the willing to get up and stand. Or those, Flashes be a decent human. And then Green Lantern, I don't care for the Green Lantern stories because it's always this person who's in some kind of branch of military or down on their luck, but yet they have some good person underneath them, so that they become one of the best and strongest things in the entire galaxy. And Jon Stewart is very militaristic in this. He doesn't have the DCAU kind of idea where he's just a guy who gets forced into this job now that he's like that, and he will serve because he was militaristic. Now he kind of overdoes it a little bit in this one, especially calling, okay, convict, you're uh, going against direct orders. Like, too much. Too much. I say Jon Stewart is probably the lower end of the league. But anyways, it's just showing who they are, what they represent is decent. It's just Jon Stewart a little bit less. It's just knowing who they are is what I don't like. Moving on to Arkham Batman. They fumbled. They fumbled hard. Arkham Batman is supposed to be this unstoppable force because we've seen in the games where he can take down dozens of people in like minutes. And it's horrendous to see him get taken down by 4 people he's probably beat several times before. Harley Quinn beat him. He beat Deadshot. He's beaten Killer Croc, which is probably strong or equal strength to King Shark. And then you have Boomerang, which is a lesser version of the Joker. But he's beaten them all. And the thing is, it's just, I think it's like a 10, 15, 20-minute fight if you don't do decently. He just gets beaten and gets killed. Just like, here's my normal line of, if you just did this better about yourself, you'd be a better person and you wouldn't be on this line of fire. And then they're like, you're too good even at your lowest point and being turned evil. Which is a nice little line, but it's just like, the entire part of the game is he's in the background picking up info. Then he goes in and has a little talk on the little communication where he's telling Wonder Woman, and I think he's talked to the Flash in the beginning of the game, where it's just like, give up, join. Brainiac will be merciful to you as long as you join, but they're not. He's more of a, you are one of the greatest like living beings. Why would you want to join the ants? Basically, so he's very. He puts himself above a lot of others. And he's a little bit of a simp for Superman in the evil state, where he's like, Superman will break you and you will be screaming at his feet. And it's like, so that's not Batman. Like, he has more of an ego on himself where he will be the person. But it's just like, now he's put so much. He's putting hype in Superman. And it's just like, while he has the most history of them all, it's all like put to shambles throughout this entire game. Where it's just like they make fun of the fact that Deadshot isn't the same race color that he was in the Arkham games. They mention that that the white one we met in Arkham Knight, I think it was a fake, and it's just like, what? We've seen his daughter. That's the whole like point for Deadshot, is he's protecting his daughter and trying to make a way for her, and then we just get this one where he's just got a problem with everyone, and no. So, and then we have Harley Quinn. She's decent, on point. The Joker, telling his backstory. We have a whole Batman museum that recaps the story of the Arkham games, or at least Arkham Asylum, I think. Arkham City as well. Yeah, Arkham Asylum and Arkham City are brought up, and I'm pretty sure he does Arkham Knight. I only played the alpha and beta. I didn't get to play the full game, but I've seen so much gameplay at this point. But it's just like you don't get to see who that man was. And the only point that I liked immediately got turned 180 and I hated it. Which was when they find the Batcave in Metropolis? No, that's Metro Man. What am I talking about? Metropolis. They find the Batcave, and he's got his hologram ready that tells them how to beat him in the Justice League. And, he's getting sentimental because he's supposed to be telling this to the Bat family. And it's supposed to be Robin finding this and like, hey, that I know I probably went bad, so here's a little message to you. I am proud of you. You are my son. I find you, Nightwing, Batgirl, and Jason as my friends turned family, and it's so nice. And then he even mentions that he's become very close friends with Superman, but yet he's also one of the most dangerous people in the world. And before we can kind of hear the end of that, then we get into the boss battle with Batman. And before we even get to understand how that is supposed to be emotionally, they just say, oh yeah, Tim Drake's just dead. So yeah, in the middle of his speech about being willing to be a team and how amazing the Bat family are and how he's grown as a person. Oh yeah, in this evil state he killed his adopted son. Which also brings me to the point that DC keeps freaking doing. If Batman is as smart as he's supposed to be, he would let the other Bat family or other people he trusts, he would give them the supplies and funds to make their own base to where he won't know about it. And for his own sake, he will not hunt for them. That way, well, no, not when he's evil. Of course, he's going to hunt for them. But when he's in right of mind, he's not going to go looking into it. That way, it gives them ample time to find it, read the messages the Batman was able to find. That was able to give them the information, and he would give them the supplies they need as he produces them. That way, they have a actual bunker to go to. Because in almost everything where Batman is turned evil, he knows what he's set up for them. So if he's became the Batman who laughs, he's told them everything, he's set up everything, so he knows where they're going to be, what they're going to do, and he knows how to counter it all. You can't make a plan against yourself and have it even have a chance to do it if you, in a good sense of mind, are the one making the whole plan, and then you turn evil and you have that plan in your mind. You can just counteract it. and you can quickly find a plan to go against it. That is something that I did hate about the Batman Who Laughs. Is just well, the Batman Who Laughs is something that you can understand. Is the Batman Who Laughs is an amazing idea of like he was still acting as himself, and he was getting very sentimental about I do wish to tell you my farewell words, and then right before they get to the nitty gritty of what they're gonna do with him before he turns, he just flat out kills them all. That is the smart way to say Batman goes and kills the Bat family. But in this kind of area where it's just like he knows Tim is gonna come to this Bat cave and know what to do to beat them, he's just gonna go straight to that cave and kill Tim. That's what was bad about this. It's just Batman in all his amazement is the reason he gets the people he loves and cares about killed, because he decides to make the plans and set up the whole situation himself. So, and then that Tim situation does hate. I do not like the look of Tim from the Arkham games, but it's still the fact that he was Tim Drake, which is my personal pick for every Robin, because that's the one I grew up with Batman and Robin animated series. It's just sad to see him be built up. He's married to Barbara Gordon in this timeline, and he just gets killed off screen, and the only thing they do is make a bad joke that Batman would eventually clip the wings of Robin. Ugh. Which I have to go to is just bringing the Suicide Squad as your main game point. Not many people can actually run to this because there's only a small percentage that truly love the Suicide Squad. Only reason they'll watch Suicide Squad is because you promised a big character like Batman or some of the other characters that people are actually interested in will show up in the movie. The very first Suicide Squad movie, you said Batman and a few other Justice Leaguers were going to be a part of it. Of course, they're going to go see their rogues gallery coming together. And then you also said the Joker and Harley Quinn were going to be a part of it, which you did bring the Harley Quinn, and you got a little bit of Joker, but people are going to come for them. And then that was also the first time we seen that Joker, which we didn't know how bad it was going to be, but it was promised to be a good one. And then we got to the Suicide Squad, where we got to have a Birds of Prey Harley who's independent. People are going to come for her, but it's also just like, it's a very wacky and strong cast that you were promising. And the John Cena also is going to make it good. Where this is just 4 people, and half of King Shark and Captain Boomerang are like C-tier villains. I'd say Deadshot is a B, and Harley Quinn's a low A or a high B. But it's not going to attract people when you're going to say these 4 people are going to kill these good, like these, well, at first we didn't know Wonder Woman was good, but it's just like, yeah, these 5 people that we care about, just go kill them. And it's just, it spoils the whole setup that Arkham did. Moving up to the world building. So Arkham already got spoiled, like, ruined. So let's get into the things like they have a Lex Luthor and a Lois Lane. And then they have Lois not be a part of the remaining of the game, and they kill Lex Luthor within a few of his appearances. And then there's a multiverse Lex Luthor that's supposed to save the day. No, that's not how we do things. And then we had I'm trying to think the other ones. We had Toyman, Amanda Waller. Those were decently explored. I think we had we had Gizmo, which that right there is something that they probably didn't want to mention too much. It's just that guy is a Teen Titans villain. Where's the Titans? You really should have explored where and how all of these heroes that they come from do anything about. Yeah, I looked up real quick to see. Oh, here's a good one. People wanted the Teen Titans instead of Suicide Squad. You could have had, the littles of the Leaguers actually come in and trying to knock out the main Justice League. It would have been nice to play as a Nightwing or a Red Hood or one of the Robins. Have like Donna Troy or Courtney become Wonder Girl. Kid Flash, Wally West would have been amazing. And then having Supergirl would be amazing too. So it's just, that would have filled the void that a lot of people have been wanting for a Justice League game. Yes, you don't get to play as them, but it would be amazing for that. I don't really see. Yeah, they don't explore the Justice League. Even though they show Gizmo, they don't show Titans. Okay. That's a choice. And then the rest of the world really kind of goes to heck because it's just like it's already burnt. Most of the people are dead. Let me look up Lois Lane real quick. Let me see if they show her again because we only see her. We only hear from her in the container. Oh, it looks like she was only in that scene and that's it. Yeah. So basically, they show like 5 characters and a few other like ideas, and then they go into the multiverse. So they don't even like this was a big world building moment for Arkham, but they ruin it. Yeah, you're not gonna see me play this game on both this account or my Twitch, which is Bolt Shooter. Anyways, I gotta go get ready for the next videos, and I need to get ready for work soon too. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.